back, everybody. Our first guest today is a beauty expert and makeup artist right here in the Low Country, and she happens to be one of my very good friends. Angie is the author of a book called Makeup 101, and she joins us today with some basic beauty tips for maybe someone who isn't sure how to begin doing their own makeup. So welcome to you, Angie, and of course, welcome our very own Stephanie Bainham, who's going to be our model here today to demonstrate some of the techniques that you can do at home. All right, Angie, let's talk about this because most people apply makeup and not a lot of thought goes into it. Sometimes I might throw a little powder, a little lip gloss, but there's some things initially that you should do before you even apply your makeup.
Exactly. Well, I like to talk to my clients and I ask them, how often are you exfoliating?
Okay.
That's really important because foundation and moisturizers on skin, goes on better on skin that's been renewed and refreshed.
Right.
So that's really key. At least once a week is good for exfoliation.
Okay.
Exactly. After that, I want to talk to them about their foundation choice, what type of moisturizer. An oil-free moisturizer is really good if you know you got a long day.
Yeah, or if you are prone to being oily.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people are. So I always recommend an oil-free moisturizer.
Okay.
So once you've prepped your skin, you got your, you exfoliated, you've selected an oil-free moisturizer.
Yeah.
The next thing for a lasting effect is primer. You gotta have primer. Primer is very important.
And what does that do?
Well, primer, I like to use an example of, and I think I told you this.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. It's like spackling on a wall.
Okay.
So when you push that into the wall, it covers up the holes in return, like our skin cover up pores.
Now, one thing that I did learn, ladies, sometimes when I would use my primer, I would just kind of, wipe it on and do this, but that's not the proper way to do it.
That's not the proper way. You need to put it on your fingertips and press it into your skin. So if I was doing Stephanie, because we already got started on her makeup, and if I was doing her, I wanted to press it into her skin.
Okay.
Make it a part of her skin. That's really important. I want to work my way from the top to the bottom.
Okay.
So I press in to the primer. Let the primer dry. It doesn't take long.
Oh, okay. That's another thing. You've got to let it settle in.
Dry because you don't want to smear it into your foundation because the next step is going to be your foundation.
Okay.
So once we've applied the primer and we pressed it in thoroughly into her skin, and then you may want to use a little bit more into her oily areas, which is normally right up in here, into that T-zone area. Now that we've got her primer done, we've started on her foundation, so I'm going to just finish up with her foundation.
Okay, describe what it is that you're doing, how you're doing it.
Well, the foundation, I have it on a sponge. You can do it two ways. You can put it on a sponge or you can put it on a foundation brush. I chose to use a sponge today. Okay. Now, the key to applying foundation is similar to primer. You want to press it into the skin and not just swipe it on. Gotcha. Okay, so like if I was doing her, finishing up her foundation, because we've already got started with time, I will press it into her skin.
Oh,
okay. I want to make it a part of her skin.
Gotcha.
Instead of just swiping down, because again, you're filling in the pores.
And that way too, when you're putting it on that way, it kind of can cover up any blemishes that you have.
Exactly.
Too. Okay.
Exactly. And again, if you have more blemishes or oily areas, you can put just a little bit more product in that area.
Okay.
So how you apply the primer and the foundation is very important.
Okay.
That's two great tips just to start off.
All right. Now,
okay. And now that we've got her foundation complete, I want to finish it up with some powder.
Okay, and that's how you would set it.
That's how I set it. Exactly. This is almost a finished product with the powder, and you want to use a large dome powdering brush to set her foundation. Now, a lot of people I know don't go in with powder. They just put the foundation on and then they're done.
Okay.
You can do that. It is a matter of choice. There's no rules in makeup. However, if you want your makeup to last longer, I would definitely suggest powder.
Okay. And fast forwarding real quick, once you apply the powder on her, and maybe, throughout the day, because we have long days and sometimes, we'll start to shine again, it's a good idea to put more powder on top or use blotting papers.
Well, you can start with more powder on top as the day goes on, but towards the end of the day, you're basically building up more oil. Your makeup is still there because we did all those preparations. Your makeup is still there, but the oil is pushing through the skin.
Okay, so you can go ahead and put the powder
on. So like if I was doing her powder, just a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to start off.
Brush it on.
Just brush it on, and I really want to concentrate on her oily areas more so. And very lightly around these areas, because some people want that dewy finish, which is fine. I like a dewy finish myself. However, dewy and oily is two different things.
Okay.
So I would probably put just a little bit more powder, concentrating on her oily areas.
And of course, if anyone wants any more makeup tips, you can go to angieshairstudio.com. You can also Google her. You can find her on YouTube. She's got plenty of videos on how to do the same simple makeup application and more. Angie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Stephanie, beautiful as always. Thank you, love. Much more Low Country Live coming up right after the break.